good afternoon. I'm going to get started because I don't think anybody is going to be joining me for this lesson. But if you are, I'll go back and restart it. Okay, so today we are talking about farming technology. Okay, so it's a little bit of a history and science and social science lesson all in one. Okay, so we talked a little bit this month about things from long ago and how they've changed, how things have changed. So I know in our first story that we read this month, we did talk about how farming technology has changed since long ago. So before we had plows that were pulled by either donkeys or horses or ox. Okay, they would pull a plow, and now we have machinery and things. So this book is going to talk more about that. Okay, so I'm going to read it with you.
Farming Technology, Level HI, by Kathy Stogler. Illustrated by Elijah Blakely.
Okay, so farming technology, and here's a picture of a farm, and that's a pretty nice picture. It's very colorful and picturesque. Looks like it's fall because the trees are different colors, like it is now outside. Okay.
There are 2 million farms in the United States. These farms are important to people. Farms produce the fruits, vegetables, milk and meat that we eat. Farms have changed over the years. Technology has changed the way farms produce our food.
Okay, so there are 2 million farms in the United States. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of them are here in our area. We live in what's called the Central Valley, which is an area where there's a lot of agriculture. And that means like farming, growing crops, and dairy farms, and cattle, and things like that. Okay, so the farms produce fruits, vegetables, milk, and meat that we eat. And we have all of that around here. We grow so many different kinds of things like peaches and oranges and all different kinds of vegetables. We have a lot of dairy farms around here. Okay, so technology has changed the way farms produce food.
In early America, most families had a garden or small farm. They planted the food that they needed to eat. Families also hunted for deer or wild turkey for meat. Early American families only raised enough food for their own family.
Okay, so this is talking about way back in the long ago past. Okay, in early America, that means like the first settlers, pilgrims even. I know we talked about that last week and the week before about Thanksgiving. The pilgrims, those were early Americans. So they planted food, and I know that they talked about in some of the lessons about Thanksgiving that the Native Americans taught them how to plant different crops like corn. Okay, so they planted food they needed to eat, and they hunted for deer, wild turkey, and for meat. So they only got enough food for themselves and their families.
Horses, mules and oxen pulled plows in the fields. The farmer walked with the plow pulled by the animals to dig up the ground. Farmers planted seeds by hand. Farm work was very hard.
Okay, so this is actually a picture from maybe not so long ago. I think this is 2017. There's horses pulling a plow. So long ago, that's how they did it. They made a plow, like some kind of machine that they put on the back of a horse or a mule, a donkey, or an ox, and they would pull the plow, and then the farmers put the seeds in I guess, the holes that they dug up. Okay, so, and I guess that still happens today because this picture isn't very old, and sometimes I pass some farms on my way home and I see donkeys and horses, and maybe that's what they do on the farms. They help with the farm work because farm work was very hard.
In the 1800s, new machines began to make farming easier. Cyrus McCormick made a reaper that was used to cut wheat in the fields. A horse pulled the reaper. A big wheel with blades cut the wheat. In 1840, Cyrus began to make and sell his reaper to other farmers. This was one of the first machines that made it easier for farmers to work in the field.
Okay, so in the 1800s, which was quite a long time ago, not that long ago compared to other times, um, they started making new machines to help with farm work, like a reaper. Okay, so those were farm machines. Now there's a lot of different machines on farms that you'll see.
A steam-powered tractor was built in 1850. Now a tractor was used instead of a horse to plow the field. In 1892, John Froelich, from Iowa, made the first gasoline-powered tractor. The tractor could pull many tools to plow the fields and harvest the crops. Tractors made farm work easier. A farmer could now grow food for many people.
Okay, so this is a picture of a tractor. I don't know if you've seen a tractor lately, but they don't look like that anymore. But this was probably something very new at the time in the 1800s, a very new technology. But they look a little different now. Sometimes I see them on the road coming to work, and I'm behind them, and they go very slow, but they do drive on the road. They're gas powered now. Okay, so this was a steam powered tractor, but then they have gas powered tractors, kind of like cars, but they don't go as fast as cars because they're not made to drive on the roads. Okay, so that is another technology to make farm work easier.
In early America, families raised animals on their farms. Everyone in the family helped to feed the animals. They milked cows with their hands. Each cow was milked one at a time. The family made their own butter from milk.
Okay, so here's a picture from long ago of people milking cows on their farms. And now there are still people today that do have animals, and they get things like milk and eggs. I know I had a student last year who had a kind of like a farm or a ranch, and she had animals, and she helped gather the eggs that the chickens laid and feed the chickens. So still today, sometimes they do small family farms. But this is what a machine would look like. See, look at the picture of the cow. Somebody's putting up a milking machine to the cow.
In 1879, Anna Gladwin made a milking machine to use instead of hand milking. Today a dairy farmer can milk many cows at one time. The milk is put on a truck and sent to a factory. In the factory, the milk is put into jugs to send to grocery stores.
Okay, so now they have big kind of industrial farms, dairy farms, where they will pump or milk a lot of cows at one time and get a lot of milk because they send it to grocery stores. So you need a lot for that. So they need machines and technology to help them.
In early America, farmers picked fruits and vegetables by hand. The fruits and vegetables did not stay fresh for long. They would rot quickly. The farmers only grew enough to feed their families.
Okay, so this looks like maybe like a farmer's market or a fruit stand. Okay, so they would pick fresh fruits and vegetables, and as you probably know, those don't last very long. They start to get bad right away.
In 1800, Nicolas Appert from France found a way to seal fruits, vegetables and meats in a glass jar. The food in these jars could be saved for 1 year. This process was called canning. Soon people found ways to seal food in metal cans. In 1812, canning factories used machines to put fruits, vegetables and meats into cans. These canned foods could be sold in a store. Now farmers could grow more food and send it to the factory to be put into cans.
Okay, so that was another way that technology helped with farming. Okay, so things could be preserved, food could be preserved longer in a can or a jar. And they had other ways to preserve, like adding preservatives and things like that.
By 1900, only about half of the American people lived on a farm. Many other people lived in towns and worked in factories. Farmers could feed these people. Technology helped them grow bigger crops. They could feed more people.
Okay, so technology helped. They could grow more crops, they could get more food out to people, and they had ways to keep it fresher longer. So they maybe didn't need as many farms. Not everybody needed to grow their own food once the technology came out.
The end.
Okay, so let's look at some of our vocabulary words. And if you want, you can have somebody at home help you and quiz you, ask you to find a word, like say, find the word change. Remember what the word change looks like? Has two shapes, a red hexagon and a blue rectangle. There's the word change.
Change.
Okay, and what was this story about? Technology, technology. Where's technology? It's here in the yellow area. There's a picture of a plane and a picture of a computer. Those are types of technology.
Technology.
Okay, can you find the word farm? Do you see the word farm here? Okay.
Farm.
Okay, a farm is a place where people grow and raise
fruits and vegetables.
Okay, she said that funny. Vegetables. Okay, and
milk
and
meat.
Okay, so a farm was a place where you could get fruits and vegetables, milk, meat. They had animals. They have like animals like horses and ox. Fields where they grow plants like wheat and corn. Okay, so that's some of our vocabulary. And here's a word you may not be familiar with.
Harvest.
Harvest means when it's time to pick the food that they grow. So harvesting corn or wheat, or even around here, we grow a lot of things like almonds, harvesting almonds and walnuts and different kinds of fruits, peaches and oranges. Okay, so that's some of our vocabulary words. So have somebody quiz you and ask you for to find some of the words. Okay, so you can pause the video now if you want to answer the questions, and I will go on. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and watch me answer the questions. Okay, so farming technology. Question 1.
Where are fruits, vegetables, and milk produced?
Okay, where are they produced? What were we talking about? A, farms, B, clouds, or C, movies? Well, you know we were talking about farms, right?
Farms.
Yes, A, farms. Okay, number 2.
What made it easier for farmers to work in the field?
Okay, what made it easier for farmers to work in the field? A, heat, B, machines, or C, weeds? Well, heat, would that make it easier for farmers to work in the field?
Heat.
No, I think that would make it more difficult. B, machines.
Machines.
Yes, machines like tractors, milking machines, plows, things like that. Okay, number 3.
What is used instead of the horse to plow and harvest?
Okay, now what is used instead of a horse to plow and harvest? A, tractor, B, car, or C, wheel? Maybe a tractor?
Tractor.
Yep, tractors. We can still see those on the farms today. Okay, 4.
What can be made from milk?
What can be made from milk? A, pencils, B, butter, or C, green beans? Not pencils.
Pencils.
No. How about butter?
Butter.
Yes, butter is made from milk. 5.
Where do vegetables go to be put into cans?
Okay, where do vegetables go to be put into cans? A,
School,
B,
river, factory.
C, factory. Okay, so is it school? No. Is it the river? No. Is it factory? Yes. Okay, so there is our lesson on farming technology. I'll see you soon for the afternoon meeting. Bye.